Good evening, boys and girls. Might be past your bedtime, so it'll be tomorrow that your parents might let you watch it. But this story is No Jumping on the Bed! Exclamation point. And I'm specially reading this evening for Mrs. Adams. You all know her. She's our kindergarten teacher. And excellent, by the way. It's for her kids. And it's by Ted Arnold. And there's Dad. And here is Walter. And it's a tall building. You can't see down here in the bottom, but he's jumping on his bed. I wonder if that's okay. My parents wouldn't let me jump on the bed. They said I would ruin the mattress, the springs, and all that kind of stuff. Sometimes I did anyway. But usually not. Usually I followed their directions, like 99.9%. Okay. In his bedroom, near the top floor of a tall apartment building, Walter was getting ready for bed. Before turning out the light, his father said, "If I've told you once, I've told you a million times. No jumping on bed. One day, it'll crash right through the floor. Now, lie down and go to sleep." "Just one more time?" asked Walter. But instead, he plopped down on his pillow and squeezed his eyes closed. My little kitty's over here. Well, he's not little. He's chubby. He's looking at me like I'm reading it to him. But that's okay. "Good night," said his father. He turned off the light and pulled the door almost closed. The room was dark and quiet, except for a soft thump, 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 coming from above. "That's Delbert upstairs," thought Walter. So there's his dad leaving. He switched on his bedside lamp. If Delbert can jump on his bed, so can I. Walter bounced higher and higher. On his last jump, his hair brushed the ceiling. Ow. But when he came back down, his mattress creaked. The floor cracked and the whole bed tipped sideways. Then down through the floor fell Walter, bed and all. That's not good. Now, it happened that Walter's bedroom was directly above Miss Hattie's dining room. She was more than a little surprised when a bed fell through her ceiling and Walter landed on her plate of spaghetti and meatballs. "I was not expecting company for dinner," she mumbled with a mouthful of meatballs. Said Walter. "Spaghetti is my all-time favorite." Yeah, I like spaghetti too. But before he could eat, his bed smashed through the table and went right on crashing down through the floor. Down and down fell Walter, Miss Hattie, the plate of spaghetti, the bed, and all. He should have listened to his daddy. Miss Hattie's dining room was above Mr. Matty's TV room. Mr. Matty didn't even notice a bed falling through his ceiling until a meatball, boom, bounced off his head. Miss Hattie tumbled into his lap. Now, I know that's not good. She's probably embarrassed. And Walter splashed into the aquarium. That's not good either, is it? "I've already had my bath tonight." "Ew," said Walter. He wanted to stay and watch the monsters on TV, but his bed crunched through the floor, taking the TV with it. All it goes, down and down and down. Hello, Daly. Down and down fell Walter, Miss Hattie, Mr. Matty, the TV, the spaghetti, the bed, and all. Walter's Aunt Batty had just moved into the building. She was still unpacking when Miss Hattie, Mr. Matty, and dripping wet Walter tumbled through the ceiling right into a box containing her rare Patagonian stamp collection. Didn't know that was a thing. When he burst through the bottom of the box, Walter was a sticky mess. You know, stamps are sticky. I see you're starting collecting stamps, said Aunt Betty as she followed Walter through the new hole in her floor. Down and down and down fell Walter, Miss Hattie, Mr. Matty, Aunt Batty, the stamp collection, the TV, the spaghetti, the bed, and all. Wonder why Walter's name doesn't rhyme with Eddie's stuff. Hi, Daly. You want to be on TV? Patty and Natty had worked 3 days building their dream house with blocks. Afraid that Fatty Cat might knock something over, they carefully shooed her out for the night. Then the upstairs neighbors came through the ceiling. "Excuse us," said Walter, remembering his manners. "We won't be staying long." The words were barely past his lips when Walter's bed bashed through the floor and continued on its way. I can't remember if I showed you this one, so I'm just going to go back. My little kitty cat over here, he can't meow. And he's trying to get my attention. It's like, meow, meow. I mean, he does it, but nothing comes out. And then that one. Down and down fell Walter, Miss Hattie, Mr. Matty, Aunt Batty, Patty, Natty, Fatty Cat, the stamps, the TV, the spaghetti, the bed, and all. The last thing Mr. Hanratty ever expected to see was a bed coming through his studio ceiling, followed by nearly everyone in the building. I see you. I see you. Hold on just one second. Come here. Here he is. This is Daly. This is Daly. He's a chunk. He's a chubs. Yes, he is. Mwah. He's a good boy. He's a good boy. And look at this on the back of him. Phantom Opera on the front. Mickey Mouse on the back. Puts the boots on his bottom legs. Hi. Say hi to everybody. My name's Daly Mickey Harman. Okay, you got my attention now. And everybody else's. Can I finish the book? Can I finish the book? Okay. All right. Go get where you want to go. Okay. Sorry for that. He's just like a toddler, you know, wants to get in on everything. All right. Maestro. That's not right. Maestro Ferlinghetti and his string quartet was astonished. Astonished is like really surprised by the colorful crowd that fell from the ceiling. The maestro loved an audience, even if they dropped in unannounced. But when Walter's bed smashed through the floor and paint splattered everywhere, the maestro wished his audience would leave. And so they did, along with the string quartet. And you learned about strings in orchestra, my class. Mrs. Adams, I hope I corrected that right. Maestro Ferlinghetti's practice room floor was also the basement ceiling. It was dark and quiet as midnight down there. Walter squeezed his eyes closed and tumbled through the darkness until he landed on something soft. He opened his eyes. Everything was in its place. His bedroom lights were out. The door was almost closed, and though Walter could hear his mother and father talking in the other room. It's creepy. "No more jumping on the bed for me," mumbled Walter as he laid back down to sleep. So I guess that didn't happen. He must have had a nightmare. I mean, not a bad nightmare, but just a fun little dream. Uh-oh. Suddenly, he heard a creak. The ceiling cracked, and down came Dilbert, bed and all. Down and down fell Dilbert. Now that's got to be true. And that is the end of No More Jumping on the Bed. And there's like, one fell off and jumped his head. Oh my gosh, I must have sung that a million times with my own children when they were little. So boys and girls, thanks for listening and reading with me this evening. If you've already gone to bed, then maybe you can have a chance to look at tomorrow, because I'm just the most awesomest reader not in the world. So remember, stay safe, follow the guidelines, and looks like we're hopefully going to be turning around and heading forward and pressing on. And thank you for doing your packets and your online work. And I've been looking at that, and I'm seeing some good things. So see you next time.